not even. You doing? Get it off. There we go.
Good morning.
It's hard to see us. There we go.
There we go.
Don't back up too far. You'll hit the wall.
Oh dear.
That person's going to jump. Morning, Lisa.
Hi, Joe. How are you?
Good.
Did you sleep better this night?
No.
Last week you hadn't slept very well.
Yeah, I know. I slept only 4 hours. It's not so good. Yeah, not so good. I was so excited for the show. 6 weeks in a row. We're here. Woo-hoo.
I can't believe it. That's pretty amazing. When you first said that, I was, whoa. It's added up quickly. So we're glad that you guys are with us. It's always good to be able to share a morning with you and with you, Joe. So
I think we have to switch down.
Yeah, why are we? We look so different today.
There we go. There we go. That's better.
I love it. I'm supposed to share this out, but I don't know how I'm supposed to do that.
I'll take care of that for you.
I can't think and do two things at once, right? So we have had a good week. If you have not been with me this week, it has been a really interesting week. It's been a lot of fun for me to just share some coaching questions with you, things that you can ask yourself as you're going through your day or through your week. On your quest to become more of who you were designed to be, on your quest to live the adventure you dream. So each day I shared a question with you. And today is another day. I have my final question for the week. And Joe has some things to share with you as well. So we're both excited about that. I promised Joe that I would ask him the question today.
No. That's not how it's supposed to work. That's not how it's supposed to work. No. You're supposed to put out your stuff. By the way, welcome. This is Friday, the 21st, and here we are in the latter half of February. Like, share, welcome. Put a message out there. Indicate if you're watching this live and where you're coming from. You know, a couple days ago, Lisa said, do that. Tell me where you're coming from. And I said, live from my office chair.
It's a fun to find out where people are watching from. Maybe, I don't know, how are your mornings going already? It's early for some of you that watch. And for those of you by us, goodness gracious, you may have been up for hours already. So it's kind of neat. So I told Joe that I was going to ask him this question. And he pretty much gave me that look. And it's like,
No.
You need to warn me ahead of time. So I don't think he realizes it, but I actually did warn him ahead of time.
Of course.
So the question.
Yeah. Yes, the question. Here we go.
What is the best thing that happened to you since we last met?
Since we last met, well, that was 4 hours ago. It's kind of hard to say what happened in the last 4 hours.
Well, you can be sassy.
I did sleep well. I did sleep well. I was surprised when the alarm went off. What? I could be sassy?
Yeah.
Blueberry cobbler last night. Yeah, that was good.
So is that the best thing that happened to you in the last week?
Oh, well, last week. Okay, let's go last week. Jeez, I don't know. There were a lot of things that happened during the last week.
Choose the best.
Choose the best. You know, that's like narrowing down 750,000 events that happened. Yeah, that's how many there were. I don't know. I think just watching Lisa this past week on these lives, there were some really great questions that left me thinking and saying, wow, those are really great questions to think about. You know, I can't think of them right now, but...
Okay.
No. Well, so like the what was it? Something about energy, right? I can't remember exactly.
When you're making a decision.
Yeah.
The question was, which option will energize you.
Yeah, I thought that was really good. I thought, wow, I haven't thought about which one, looking at the options and then saying, okay, among the ones that are going to reach my goal, which one would have the most energy? Which one would, which one would require the most energy? You might not want to go down that path because that's just going to be laborious and boring and dumb, and maybe not dumb, but just slow. And you'll have to have a lot of people around you picking you up. But there's one that might energize you, that would put a little kick in your step and a little jump. Jump.
So when I read this question, I too found myself kind of like, what happened? There's a lot that happens in a week, right? And it's interesting to see how Joe is initially answering this, because kind of it's something that happened to him, right? The experience.
Yes.
But in a way, I feel like the question was a little bit deflected.
She's critiquing me.
Critique, imagine that. So I thought about it, for myself. How would I answer that question? What was the best thing that happened to me? So as I thought about it, I thought, man, first of all, I had to weed out a lot of negativity. And
well, that's not best thing. Okay, but you're saying,
I'm saying how I came up with, what my thought process as I'm going through this, because I thought that was interesting.
Yes.
So as I thought about what was the best thing that happened to me, the first things that came to mind were, what I can't say. I can't say that because that was negative. And like, for example, yesterday, it was a rough ending to my week teaching.
But there was a good part at the end. I stopped in Lisa's studio and dropped her a little bevy for to get her through the day.
He brought me Starbucks. Isn't that nice?
And, it's a sweet thing here.
Round of applause for you,
Caramel
Joe.
Macchiato. But the thing was, I got to see the snowman on the wall. I thought, that's a great completion of that project that's been happening, and all your students were helping to build that snowman. Yeah.
I'll show them.
Okay. She'll show you in reverse.
That's okay.
Anyways, the snowman is just a fantastic, showing of. You mean it?
There you go. Maybe you can kind of see it.
Yeah. So lots of cotton balls to make up the snowman for. Well, how did they get accomplished on all that?
So this snowman is about 2 poster boards big, and the way they got cotton balls to actually design and create the snowman was by achieving a certain goal. Like right now, our focus is scale, so they were working primarily on scale. So every one of those cotton balls represented a scale or a set of scales. And each one of those hearts also represents a scale or a set of scales. And there are literally hundreds of snowballs on there.
And hearts. Thanks to Miss Deborah for having her students add hearts.
My students also.
Well, yes. Okay, but you had help from other teachers too.
Not really.
Well, okay.
I invited her, but she chose not to.
Oh, well, now I'm giving her credit. And give her credit. What the heck? There's a lot. Oh, sorry. Oops.
She may have put some cotton balls
Whatever,
on it.
It's still it's a team effort, regardless, right?
So okay, so that was a good example of something that happened during my week. It was fun to be able to share that with you. But with regard to that is one of the best things that came up this week, because as I was telling my students, the snowman is going to melt this week. Hard to believe, since it's like, it's cold today.
It's cold.
So as I told one of the kids that, he's like, oh man, and next year, and it's like, this little kid is just so loud and boisterous. and next year we're going to do it again, and we're going to make it bigger, and we're going to make it fatter. So,
hi, Eric. Hi, Jane. Hi, Penny.
hey,
Thanks for joining
everyone.
us. Yeah, keep dropping in. Eric says, poor Lisa.
Yeah.
Just hold that smile.
So that was a highlight of my week, definitely. But as I sorted through and sifted through all these memories of a whole week, I thought, man, there's a lot. And it was interesting how often, the negative things, even if they're just little things, just kind of popped up. And I had to sift through those first to get to the good. So I came up with the best thing that happened to me this week was being contacted from a friend who is from Wisconsin, happens to be in Florida, and she sent an invitation for us to get together with her and her husband. So I was excited about that. So the question is, what's the best thing that happened to you since? And you can fill in the blanks, since yesterday or since, we last met, which could have been a week, whatever it is. What is the best thing that happened to you? Now, tell me more about that. Why? Why did that, feel good? How did that make you feel? Why was that important to you? Because when we start delving into those things, it gets interesting. So I started asking those questions. Does Eric have something here?
Yeah, next should be sand, as in sand in a sand timer for almost time for summer.
Ooh.
Nice job, Eric.
Yeah, I might do something off of that. Next is actually finding the luck of the Irish. We are going to cross over the rainbow and see if we can find our treasure at the end of the rainbow. So it's all about perfecting those skills and performing them really well. Excellence.
Can we say the show?
Can we say this show? Yes, absolutely.
Nice job, Eric.
Thank you. So as I delved into those things, that it was amazing because why did it make me feel good that she sent an invitation for us to get together? And I think it's just because there's such a cherished relationship there. And as I thought about that relationship, one thing led to another, to another, to another. And it brought me all the way back to what actually brought us close. And actually, she is the one that kind of introduced us.
Sent me on my assignment. Well, you've heard that story before. We won't keep going into it again and again. Maybe later. We want to keep moving along.
We do. But it was interesting because then all of a sudden all those positive vibes started building up, and I got to just experience a new level of happiness. And I was reminded too of how important it is to reach out to other people. So I was encouraged to keep growing in that way because I can be a bit of an introvert, believe it or not. It was really interesting. So it's about that positive emotion, opening doors and windows of opportunity and moving us forward in that.
Yeah.
So that was my final question for the week. It's probably my favorite one of the whole week. But, there's 4 other questions that were really a good week this week.
Well, and that takes us into the second point, really, Lisa, of that question of what was the best thing that happened during the week. Well, what were you working on when you started this week? You started us off this week thinking about what success we could have and, how to plan the week and think into that. And as I was thinking about that, one question came to my mind is, what happens when I hit the wall? Why aren't things working the way I think they should for the week? There are a lot of things pop up. How do we respond? You've talked about that, what energizes for the option. And then I was thinking about this and saying, well, sometimes we're just hitting this mist. This morning, we didn't even talk about this morning. It's like 58 degrees. No, it isn't. Just kidding. 52 degrees,
Oh my
feeling like
goodness.
48. It's like freezing out there.
Okay, but for those of you who live up north and would love to see 48 degrees, I have
did
to
I
tell
mention
you,
there's a wind chill on? It's
it's
20
gonna be
mile an hour wind. It's cold.
so
It's damp.
it's damp, it's cold, and 48 down here is, it's like freezing up there, I think.
Yeah. So sometimes, I just wanted to go into, I'm just so excited about this topic, Lisa. I don't mean to cut you off.
No.
So I was listening to Dr. Paul Sheely and Dr. Bruce Lipton this week, two of our mentors, and both of them thinking into their life's practice has been focused in on the mind and how the mind works. And one reason that we fail, everyone fails on this, but some of them recover, some of them we can see that are success. Everybody has a bad week, or everybody has challenging points in the day where things just like fly through the day, and you're jammed. You can't think. You feel that you're not accomplishing anything. I've been in this place. You plan. You think, oh, I'm going to have 3 hours to do this, or I'm going to have 20 minutes to do this. I'm going to be focused, and you don't, and you can't get your accomplish what you're looking at. Say you're solving a problem, or you're trying to come up with this dream that you have, or this goal that you want to accomplish this week.
Dreams are hard.
Yeah.
They're hard.
And you can't do that in the mist. You can't do that when you're running hard. So there's our brain operates at different speeds. So what's delta? When we were really small, we would have delta waves. So those means our brain was operating really at a slow speed, low frequency. Won't get into all the frequency and what it all means, but we were just accepting everything. We just, walked around, like our grandson Wesley, who's just, like taking it in all and just exploring, but he's just accepting everything. It's just coming in, and he's like not really thinking. He's just going through the day, regardless of what might be going on around him. He's just going through the day, and it's just accepting it all. Well, that's kind of like this low area, but just above that is theta waves. But that is where we calm down. We're not REM sleep, but we're in a deep meditation. We're deeply calm. We're peaceful. And I don't want to spoil it, but did you? I got notes. Yes. Have you felt where that peaceful calm, where you can like think a little bit, you can just relax? I know you come in after work and you get this calm.
When I come in at the end of the day,
especially yesterday.
Yeah, especially yesterday. Thankfully, most days don't end like that. But at the end of the day, that's one of the biggest things that I like to do. No matter what the day is, I just like to bring myself back to that peace, that place of calm. And what I love is that what we're talking about, this spirit of positivity, that is really what kind of brings things full circle and brings me back to that peaceful place.
Yes. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get our dream defined. We're trying to get a problem solved. And instead of being in this calm state, this meditative state, other things are the intuition we're getting, the insight will come into that spot of this place of, very calm, very peaceful conditions. And we put ourselves in the right environment for that. But instead, we're putting it at the high end. We're stressed out. We're like all our senses are on high alert. We're trying to go and force it to happen.
And then it's counterproductive. It doesn't work that way.
So the mind, the mind is trying to you're trying to push the mind to go solve something and saying, wait, I just need to slow down. I need to calm down. I need to take a break. But instead, we're trying to dream, we're trying to create in a space that's meant for problem solving, for this focused activity, much more highly focused. Uh, some of the other things that operate at this higher end that uh, are good things. So love operates at the high end of our brain. We're really active. We're really wanting to feel everything within us, both from so we operate on three planes of existence: spiritual, we're spiritual beings, gifted with an intelligence, living in a physical body, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you've talked about this, Lisa.
Sip. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sip. But at that full level where we're feeling, we're not operating in fear. We're operating in love at its true highest end. So when we're feeling love, when we're feeling spirit, living out of this universal love, these higher virtues of compassion and care, and just being there for someone, that's not the time to be creative. We're putting out all the energy we have, and we're facing all the demands, everything that's going on, and there's a conflict. So this one tip: just get yourself calm. So there are many ways of getting yourself calm. Of just taking in, put your here's a real short one you can do, and just get. You got to do this multiple times over time, and you'll get better, and you'll feel this restorative state. Just sit in a chair, straight up, straight back. Just let your hands roll into your lap, and just close your eyes, and just start feeling where you're at. Feel your back against the chair, your legs, uh, you know, flat footed on the floor. Don't cross them, and just breathe in, and just slowly be cognizant. To think about what that breath is feeling like coming through your nostril. Don't open. Just go breathe through your nose if possible. If you can't, then can't. But through your nose, and just concentrate on that, and then just let your mind go away from that. Let your eyes relax. Let the wrinkles in your face just have their fun and just relax. Just take the stress out of your face. We can do this. We've done this in workshops, and in December we had a workshop, and we took the people in the room through this, and in 30 to 60 seconds, what'd you expect?
You don't expect much.
Yeah.
But it completely shifts the energy that's there. And it's just kind of interesting because in the beginning stages of doing that exercise, you're just kind of thinking through all of it. But we've done this so much now, like with exercises with other people and stuff. It was interesting when you started saying all the steps.
Right.
It was interesting because all of a sudden in my mind, all of those things, I just started relaxing immediately. So it comes a lot faster the more you do it.
And with repetition of getting this, you start thinking, or you start just allowing the intuition, allowing what's in your mind. So God speaks through, or your spiritual being, whatever you feel is the universal point of energy. We are faith based. We believe God is the overall designer, and as such, we have a conversation with God. And God, we speak to God in prayer, but we get it through intuition. We get His response through intuition. So we keep saying, "God, tell us, tell us, tell us." Well, we got to slow down to be able to hear us, be calm, and receive that. So we should think of ourselves as those big satellite dishes, putting out the big, just trying to receive everything. Sorry, trying to receive everything from the outer space. Right? We're taking this broad beam of data, of knowledge, of bits, and then recompiling them here on Earth. But we're taking everything, and we need to focus, but we have to focus by bringing everything in, and we just have to be calm in doing that. Dr. Joseph Murphy and the power of the subconscious mind. I thought I liked this because it talks to this point that we're trying to make about why we need to do something more effectively than what we're doing. When we go and we say, I can't solve it. I can't solve it. I'm so busy. I got to go here. I got to go there. Well, you're forcing this to happen. He says this. When we realize the power that moves the world is moving on our behalf and is backing up our word, our confidence and assurance grow. You do not try and add power to power. Therefore, there must be no mental striving, coercion, force, or mental wrestling. It's not the best quote, but it speaks to this point. When I was thinking last night about this and calming myself down. Wow, not like right now, but when I was calming myself down, that I just was paging through this book that has talked to me a lot about this, how we master our keys to success. And Lisa, with this show, this live that you do every day, you're showing us how to slow us down and think. Take that question: what option energizes us?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can solve it, but you can look at this, go into this slower state and think about what are the things that energize me? Oh, that feels good. That feels great. So do we go from wow to whoa to ah?
Oh my word.
So those are 3 steps in Paul Scheele's advanced learning strategies. But it really speaks into this moment of preview, of relaxation, of noticing something new.
I think our awareness is a big piece of that.
Yeah.
And when we allow ourselves to slow down, all of a sudden we become a little bit more aware. And it's energy, I think, is a little bit confusing because
Yes.
when I hear the word energy, all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, I gotta pump you up. Kind of thing, but it's not always like that. Energy is
see, power block, energy. Yeah.
Okay, there's that.
No, but we can say that's what mostly our ideas of energy are. We turn on a switch.
Right. Yeah. Well, as a person, we talk about, do you need more energy? Here, have a rock star.
Yeah.
Have a Red Bull. Have some coffee.
This is water, by the way.
So I think when we think about energy in the terms that we're speaking here, it's not always that pump you up. Woo! I've got lots of go juice. It's often a time of peace. It's a time of joy and contentment.
Yeah. And in that state, so getting into that state, no matter where you are, except if you're driving, okay, don't slow yourself down. But when you're going to sleep, just before you go to sleep, this is a real good key. Take a look at what is it that you want? What goal are you working towards? What are what's the problem that you're trying to solve? And take that just a few seconds or 10 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever, before you roll over to go to sleep, whatever, a minute before, when you're slowing yourself down, put that into your mind, go to sleep. You're going to get that intuition. You're going to get that goal, that dream, the answer to, maybe it's a thing you're working on to write, that you need to write a perspective on for work.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, you can use that slower state to be creative. And that's, part of being a crayon-based leader, being what we do is we need to recapture, re-energize this creativity that we have pushed aside because we're always operating at the high end.
Well, I think, too, being that he brought up crayon-based leader, and I'm not sure how many of you really know what crayon leadership actually means. We're going back to where we were able to think about being creative and not be defined by staying in the lines and having to color certain colors at a certain time, but being open mind, realizing that there may be opportunities out there. If we think a little bit outside the box, maybe we can come up to achieve that same goal in a slightly different way. And it's not necessarily that you're going to get your answers overnight, because we all know that's not necessarily true. But I do think that both of these, what Joe brought to the table today, as well as what I brought, when we combine those two things, we really can get past that wall. When we feel like we're hitting the wall, take yourself to the place where you are thinking positive. What are the great things that happened? And look at why it made you feel good. And just describe that and let yourself, be in that positive mindset. All of a sudden, then we have that positivity, which translates to some energy. But then we can step into that calm, and we can slow those brain waves down, and just think, what if, what can I do if this, or what are the doors of opportunity that might be opening as we're facing that wall.
Yeah, to close out with this one story, it was so impactful to me. I hope it's impactful to you. There's a person in Japan.
Do you have some comments before your story?
No, that's the end of the comments.
Oh.
Please end the show. No. A man in Japan holds 3,500 patents. So that's a huge amount of creations, inventions that he personally has thought of.
How many?
3,500. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of patents, and he's changed. Where he's made an impact is because of those patents, of those ideas. Well, when did his ideas come to be? Well, he found that by slowing himself down in several ways, or a step process. First, he would go into a room and think about things on his own. Then he would go into another room where there's busy with a lot of activity, and then he would be problem solving. But then he would go into a pool and just reside in the pool until he could slow his brain down to, well, almost death. He was a half a second or so, 5 seconds away from death, when he would be getting these ideas of all the things that he was looking for. He would get the intuition, he would get the insight. Now, he actually developed the process. So in one of those processes, he developed how to write in those last few seconds what he was getting. Now, okay, I'm not 3,500 patents. There's great, that worked for him. I don't know about you, but I don't know about staying in a pool until I'm almost dead.
No.
And having somebody pull me out at the last second. So just maybe it's sitting back in the morning before the noise, or when you have some alone time, and just slow yourself down, breathe in, do these drop-ins, and make it an effort to not have an effort, to breathe, to do the process, and then take in the insight of whatever may be coming to your mind. It might be something that you just want to write after you get into that spot.
Well, that, the last couple of things you said just reminds me of my favorite way to do it. And I just love sharing this with people, is to simply write. Start by writing anything and everything. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't have to be cohesive.
I hate writing.
You write that. I hate writing. It could be like, I'm so tired. It could be like, I don't know what to write. But you keep writing and writing and writing. And your goal is to fill up at least 3 pages. Now, if you've got more in your mind after 3 pages, keep writing. But what's cool about that is you kind of do this garbage dump that way. Those things that are most important to you, those things that are bothering you the most, get dumped out of your brain. And when you're finished with it, it's an amazing experience, because it takes you to that quiet space. And it is most effective to not do it necessarily on a computer keyboard or any other way other than pen to paper. So
That's good.
It's an incredible experience to just take yourself to that place, because once you get there,
Yes.
now we've gotten to that calm, and now we can start to focus, and that productivity level skyrockets.
There you go.
It's incredible.
Nice. Good way to end the week.
It is. It is. So,
And get ready for the next one.
it has been a great week. I am so thankful for you guys for joining me, for joining me on this.
Well, thanks for allowing me to
show.
be on your show, taking 6 Fridays and sharing your 6 Fridays with you live. That's great.
It is. It's pretty amazing.
And with you.
Yes.
We wouldn't be able to do it if you didn't show up. I appreciate it. Give yourself a clap. Seriously, it's a good time to celebrate. Every Friday is a good time to celebrate. Every Monday is a great time to celebrate. And
throughout the day.
In between.
Throughout the day, celebrate your successes.
Hey, go share this with somebody. If they're looking overstressed or they're not getting, maybe somebody you're working with in your workplace, share this. Share them how they can just take one step from this hurried space where they're just trying to beat themselves into, I got to get an answer, and help them slow down. Help them take a few minutes just to slow down, clear their thoughts, and pull away from all the activity so that they can listen internally to the answers that are coming up.
Mm-hmm. So that's wrapping it up for today.
Woohoo!
For this week.
Follow through!
Wow, 4 hours of sleep. I think you really need to go to bed early.
I think I'm doing fine.
I like to pick on you a little bit.
Yeah. Thanks to all who commented. Again, if you're watching this and got this far,
congratulations.
Yeah,
there's a success marker right there. Next week, I am looking at a series on confidence.
Ooh.
Could you build your confidence a little bit higher? I think so. A lot of us are struggling with that. So if you have questions about confidence, let's hear them. Let's build into this live for next week, and have a great weekend. I'm so excited. We get to go spend time with our friends and, just enjoy the weekend ahead of us too. So
recuperate, rejuvenate, and freeze. Okay.
And freeze.
See you later.
We're going to be positive. I'm going to think about oranges.
Okay.
Oranges get sweeter when it's cold.
There you go. Yes.
Yeah. So have a great weekend. I will see you again Monday morning. Take care.
Bye, all.